Yes. Hi, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm in a space and there's not so much lighting where I'm at. But I just decided I haven't been there with you guys for a long time as I'm really going through a roller coaster of some strange stuff, very strange stuff that makes me feel like, what the hell what is this 2020 about? Life it's not as we know it. Now, as you can see, I'm in a new environment because I had to run away from my own home because of whatever that I have been inhaling in my house has become extremely unbearable. So I had to run to kind of protect my life. So yeah, yeah, people. So the question is today, how are you affected by 2020? In your own words. I hold on, let me see, like this. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, either it's my pigeon my pigeon that I just pick up on the street somewhere in where I think somewhere in June, and poor pigeon finally it's kind of paralyzed by what I have been experiencing in the house. This pigeon can't walk, and I feel guilty that I picked it up, hoping that I was gonna help it, give it food as I still do, and it was gonna be flying. But this poor pigeon, it's not flying. It's completely paralyzed. It can't move. It can't stand. And in the night, it goes through some strange noises. In the day, it stays in that box. Normally, it does not stay in the box, but I live in a hotel, so it's in a box at this moment, and I take it out sometime, but it does not work, sadly. Now, yeah, the question is, how are you affected by 2020? You know, I'm affected by 2020 big time. As you have seen my neck in the past, how horrible it looked. And it still looks really horrible, as if I had this horrible disease affecting my body that came from nowhere. 2020 has been the most bizarre year for me, bizarre in many ways, starting with February, getting sick under my tongue, a sickness that I have never had before, where I had to find myself lying in bed for 2 weeks, not moving, I couldn't eat anything. And some strange things happened in 2020. And then after that, in March, the third week of March, suddenly I started inhaling this nonsense out of the air. In the moment they declare coronavirus, that's the moment my air, as I know it, changed. And I thought probably it was because of they were cleansing the air, spraying things to kind of normalize the disease that we all were gonna get, and it was gonna make each other to kill each other. So I thought, okay, I'll stand it for a while. So I didn't say anything. But as this thing escalated, it was just crazy every night. And so that was February, March, April, May, June. Sometimes it was there, this air, sometimes not. Sometimes for 3 days, sometimes not. So I could sleep because it was not daily. And this is just me, guys, expressing my feelings of where I'm at in this 2020. What have I been dealing with? And I know that some people think that, Carol, you need healing and all this nonsense, and some people think that probably I'm going insane, which I'm not. 2020 has made us believe that we are monsters to one another. We are carrier of something that's going to kill us. We suddenly, our financials are locked. I haven't been working since January, as I came in this country, moving away from the United Kingdom because of Brexit, and coming into a new country, to not a new country really as such, a country that I have been before, which I'm kind of known and thinking, okay, Brexit didn't really protect me, so let me go to Belgium where I'm known, and getting to Belgium and finding myself suddenly being locked down without any compensation, without any, because of if you run your business and you're not registered, so you know where to be found. So that's one thing. So lucky I have friends who adore me, who suddenly came on board to help me out. Now, while I'm still struggling with the financial issues of my life being cut off because of our lives, let me not be selfish, cut off on a financial base, we are also being told about this boogeyman who is coronavirus, that we have to be afraid of each other. We have to wear this mask. There's so much rules and regulations. And then while you're still looking at these rules and regulations, there has been this racial war that has been brought upon us. This Black Lives Matter. One of the worst things that they could ever do in 2020 was to put Black Lives Matters on the forefront by killing the guy there, that beautiful angel who have sacrificed his life for the change. But when you look at this racial war, has made things even worse, because there's a massive concentration on racial issues at this moment, that people are going mad. So while you're still looking at this racial kind of tensions that are taking place, we're also dealing with the atmosphere, which is there, where everything, I find it very strange. I'm not really blaming anyone at this moment, but I'm just thinking that, human beings, I'm affected every night, you guys. My throat is in dilemma. I've had few people that I've spoken to, including a friend, sister, who comes from Congo, and she has a son. The son, he's about 6 months old. And the son, since March, suddenly he couldn't breathe, and the baby who was 3 months old at that time had to go and have an operation because he couldn't breathe. And again, this little boy, again, he's going for operation on this area, which is the most area that I have been struggling with myself. And you wonder what the hell is going on. Corona, I don't hear people complaining about Corona really as such. Yes, there is Corona out there. Do I know it? It's far away from me, so I can't say much. But what I can express, it's the condition, the air condition I have been struggling with, the electrical shocks that I have been struggling with on my body, things I've never even knew what the electrical shock was, that my fingers couldn't move, couldn't fold at some point. I had things, like this thing here. Suddenly I wake up and I've got scars like this. Yes, as you can see, it's not so clear, this, so you can't see well. And me just walking on the street the other day, that was last week, I think that was last week, Wednesday, if not Thursday, just me walking on the street, and suddenly I had this kind of acid being shot on this hand, and suddenly I couldn't breathe. I had to jump like this crazy woman, asking for air. And yeah. So I find myself the victim of circumstances of 2020, and I can't answer it. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive 2020. As you know, you guys, I'm breathing this air monthly on the daily. So my lovely friend decided to move me out of my home to pay 900 for a few days for me to stay here, which is a lot of money, thinking that, of course, when we get to another area, it's going to be better. So last night I slept well, even though as I was sleeping, my knees were still getting the same sensation, which is pain. And suddenly on my belly, I had this shooting pain that I have never had before. But I've got this stone of mine that I normally use if I do not feel well. And I put the stone on my body. It's very, very powerful stone. It was given to me by a man. And this man said to me that you have to always have a stone around you. It has very, very strong healing properties. It has been in our family for 99 years. So I took that stone, I put it on my belly, I slept. That was I slept like an angel. Now, William then phoned me in the morning yesterday saying to me, Carol, I was feeling noises in the house and I feel like I'm getting this horrible taste in my mouth. So I said to William, move in into this place, move out of that place, feeling very secure that where I'm at, it's really well and it's really safe. So William comes over and I give him the room where I slept yesterday, which is bigger, and it has a kind of what do you call this? It has a kind of outside balcony, as you can see it. As he's a smoker, so I thought that would be better for him, and I use the small room. As I'm sleeping there, suddenly the blanket again, and that's another thing as well. In the house where I lived, I had to change my bedding every day. You know, when you're sleeping in a bedding that someone does not clean, your linen, and you sleep on it for about, let's say, for about a month or 2 months without cleaning it. And when you go in there, you start getting this itchiness of dead skin cells. Now, this in my house was happening every day. I had to change a linen because if I didn't change a linen, I wouldn't sleep because there will be this crawling things as if it's really, really dead skin cell everywhere, as if my blanket were dirty, you know. So every day I had to change a linen because of if I use the same linen, I wouldn't sleep because my whole body will be itching. Just really strange things, you know, very strange things. So then William came and I slept in that small room and I felt like that. And he brought a pigeon as well because of I thought if you can bring the pigeon so that pigeon it's not alone, you know, I'm a carer, you know, so that I can look after the pigeon while I stay here, so that one day I can be able to let this pigeon fly to its own power. And we couldn't sleep. Yeah, yeah, it's just like an atmosphere that you do not know. It's an atmosphere that you can't explain. It's thick, it's heavy, it's like you're not alone. And as you can see, my eyes, how dark they are. And the question is, what the hell is going on? Are we affected by corona, by our neighbors? No. Are we affected by our friends? No. We are affected by the atmosphere. The atmosphere is the most dangerous thing for me at this present moment than this corona thing because of that's the only thing that I can really complain about. That's the only thing I can mention. So I went on Facebook and I did some videos, and I've slept on the street as well, trying to find a way to survive this air in my house. That's why I suddenly got this place, which cost lots of money, but we had to do it for me to feel safe. But there is still this boogeyman of air that it's not well. And you wonder, what are we dealing with in 2020? How does 2020 affect me? For me, I have been affected big time in 2020. These are my experiences. These are the things that I'm going through. As you can see, this is my skin. You can see my neck. It was worse than this. It's getting better. And do I see the world as I used to see it before? No. I just feel that, if you look at people who speaks about this coronavirus and vaccinations and all these things, are people who are controlling this machine that I'm using at this moment. The cyber world, the internet world, the computer of things. What does that mean? Um, you know, where are we going as humans? How far will humans go to try to control the core of nature, to try to define the laws of nature, while we put ourselves in danger and more danger? At this present moment, there's been a song which you don't hear nothing about. It was kind of popular, kind of in fashion in 2019, 2018, global warming, how much everybody was put into corner of understanding, and that we need to modify and try to have a control over global warming. But then suddenly, as you are watching this global warming, we have something called G5. And this G5, they say it runs on the speed of a second. You can download 10 movies and da, 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 and you're thinking, who cares about 10 movies? I have no clue about this G5, but I'm just feeling like there's always with reaction, there's you act and there's reaction. And I think for me this year, the action was G5. Coronavirus, I can't really mention so much. What I can mention really that has changed the world, which I truly believe that it has something to do with, is G5. And all the symptoms that they've said around G5, I'm struggling with it. Do I say these things because of I want to get popularity? Not at all. Do I say these things so that people can think I'm intelligent? Not at all. I'm just saying these things because this is where the world where I can just express myself and say that human beings, they have to get their act together. Human beings, especially those who thinks that they've got financials and they've got power and they can rewrite the course of their community, their society. Their society, it's within their fingers, and they've got billions and billions and billions and billions. Money is zero. You can take it and do things and think that you can change nature and cut women's breast, put plastic in them where that's already an insult of a human being. Inject things on women's lips as if they've been punched by someone, and these women they walk around on the street completely brainwashed into the sense of what beauty is. And the food we eat, everything it's modified and etc. But still it's not enough. Now you hear the words of people being shipped. They want to put things into people's so that everything that you are, it's a machine. We are forced to live into the world of so-called, what do you call that, artificial intelligence. And I think what yes, we are prisoners. Every day I think to myself, I'm not going to watch TV. But I find myself, because I'm brainwashed, I find myself reaching to it. Every day I think I'm not going to use my cell phone because of there's so much radiation at this present moment. But quickly I find myself reaching into it because there's this sense of loneliness at this present moment. So one way or the other, whatever that we are as human beings, we always create things that we think we need. And either they are safe or dangerous. But once we have created a need in our soul, once we have created the emotional story within our spirits about whatever that a human being designs, we become prisoners of it. And with this artificial intelligence, you don't know where the world is going. But what I say is to cut this blah 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 of mine, which is not blah blah blah, but it might sound as if it's too much. It's 18 minutes already, which was supposed to be less. I'm just going to say that it is important to ask ourselves questions, to reflect where we're going with our movies, where we're going with our artificial intelligence, where do we go with this flying saucers and forgetting things that we are not alone in this world. It's not only us, it's not only humans. We have the smallest cousins that flies, that needs our protection. We have the smallest things that crawls on the earth that needs also to be recognized, that they need space as well. We are not only the citizens of this world. The world has everyone in it, and everyone in it, it's designed, the energy it's designed for us all to be able to protect each and every one of us. Human being, it's becoming an enemy to the space where it's designed for everyone to be able to enjoy the safety of the earth. Human being is bringing unsafetiness to the earth because of so-called intelligence, so-called power, so-called we can do whatever we want. We have a power to do whatever we want. And the moment you recite on that belief system as a human being, you're dead alive because you are destroying the core foundation fabric that it's designed to protect you, to give you a sense of peace, a sense of breathing life as easily as you are brought into this world. Where are we going? artificial intelligence. So it is. So the space has been populated with their dishes that are thousands and thousands and thousands of them to control what? And people like we get affected. I don't know if I'm going to be able to live, and I have already made it in my mind that I will speak every day. I don't give a damn even if I die. You realize that what's the need to fight to live in this world while the world is getting even more and more dangerous. So this is Carol just sharing her views in this world of emptiness, power that has no sense of meaning at all. If it was a power that has sense of meaning, they will eliminate poverty, they'll eliminate frustrations, they'll eliminate depression, they'll create space. People, they'll plant trees, apple trees everywhere, so that those who are hungry can just go into a garden and pick up apples. They would let the liquid water to stream in its streams and stop putting it in bottles and selling them. Everything has been made about money. Money has become the source of breath. The breath itself has been stolen from life. And people like me, I realize that it becomes such a meaningless space. It becomes very boring and very shallow. And it's run by very sad people. Carol Matula here. I don't care even if I get out of this world. It does not interest me no more, because it's full of egoistic silliness. It's stepping the space. There's a reason why you've already put things on space. Why put more? Because you can. Because they think they can. Nice. And sad.